Well, hey, book lovers, welcome back to our first episode of Young Adult Edition in 2019. We hope you guys have had the best holiday. We hope that you've had so much fun, but we are incredibly excited to see you back. Welcome to 2019. We've got some huge things happening on Young Adult Edition, and today we are talking all about book world news. We're bringing you some major book releases this week. We're going to be talking about some incredible resolution-based, book challenge-based things going on today, and we want to hear from you. So let us know down in those comments below if you're joining us live. What did you do to bring in the new year? And if you're on our rebroadcast, we still want to hear from you. Go ahead and jump down in those comments. We'll be monitoring them over the next couple of days and weeks, and we would love to hear from you. So let us know, how did you ring in your new year? And before we jump into all the bookish goodness, I am joined by my fabulous co-host, Elle Beaumont. Elle, how was your New Year's?
It was great. It was quiet. It was the first year that I've actually not done anything. And I spent it actually reading. So
okay, I think that you just won.
Yeah.
I think you just won. That was kind of like every book lover's dream.
Yeah, curled up in my couch with my animals and finishing a book that I've been meaning to read. So how about yours?
That's so exciting. Danielle's joining us live. Hey, lady. We're glad that you are here while you were waiting to go to your meeting at work. Super excited to see you. Let us know, how did you ring in the new year? I actually did a bit of a game night. I hung out. We played some board games, lots of fun, and I did not bother to stay up until midnight because on occasion this girl needs to sleep. So I definitely went to bed before the clock struck midnight, but I was definitely still awake. So I knew it was there. I just kind of ignored it. It was lots of fun. But we did enjoy our game night. We had fun doing that. And we want to hear from you. How did you guys ring in the new year? We're super excited because we are talking all things book world news today. We're talking about new releases, and we're talking about bookish resolutions, challenges, and the things coming up in 2019 here today. And like I said, we've got some major things going on in 2019 for Young Adult Edition, so stay tuned. We might give you a couple of hints. So, Elle, in terms of book world news, I know we've got some really cool things going on. You and I just did something big, and people just put in their submissions for something cool. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we actually just got submissions into our circus anthology, which the submissions just closed. And I'm so excited that I get to start reading some of these because they're really cool and twisted and dark. And I mean, come on, guys, circus! I am so obsessed with everything circus. If you can't tell, I have to represent with my backdrops here. I am so excited for this because started digging into these, and they've got some really cool, dark, twisted stories for this anthology. And I'm so excited for you guys to read it, which it doesn't come out for a little bit now, but guys, you're going to love it.
And if you are sad that you have missed our circus anthology, the good news is Crescent Sea Publishing actually has 2 more anthologies that you can participate in 2019. We've got a steampunk and we've got a cyberpunk anthology. We would love for you guys to join us. Open submission. It's young adult stories. All the info you need is at crescentseapublishing.com/anthologies for you to come and join us. It's going to be big. It's going to be major. It's going to be incredible with these covers, and we cannot wait for you guys to get involved. And we're going to be announcing the authors for the circus anthology in about a week or 2. We're still going through submissions. We still have to send out contracts to some people, but it is big. It's amazing, and we cannot wait for you guys to see the stories, the authors, and the cover on this one. It's going to be so good. Danielle's down in the comments, and she says, I spent my New Year's Eve at my in-laws watching movies and eating too much food. Yes, girl. I spent New Year's Day with my nephew and the rest of my family for his birthday. Oh, that is so sweet. That's a fun time to have a birthday, too, I feel like, right? Yeah. We also have Justin in the comments saying, I spent New Year's Eve at my friend's house. We had an awesome barbecue party. Well, that's kind of awesome. That's a fun way to celebrate. I like it. I feel like I was far too tame this year. I should do something cooler.
Oh, I was super tame. I mean, I was in my pajamas all day and reading. Okay, but
I was social.
Okay, but I was in bed at 8:30 and like asleep by 9. So watching the ball drop, I usually watch the ball drop, not this year. I was out. I was out cold.
Fun fact, a couple of years ago, and I'm talking like 5-6 years ago, it was a while back, I actually went to New York City in January, and I actually got to see the ball that they dropped. They had it like on display. You could go into this building and you could see it. It is a lot smaller than it looks on TV.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Interesting.
Yeah, I should have dug out pictures. I've got pictures. Well, okay, to be fair, I have a very blurry picture my now brother-in-law took for us of the ball that they drop at midnight. So it's not a very good picture, but I do have it. And it's kind of really interesting. I'll have to show you later, Elle. It's kind of fun. Danielle says, I think I'm always going to be sad I missed the circus submission. Can't wait to read the anthology. You know, I've heard that from a lot of people. A lot of people are sad that they had other things that they had to write or other things they had to do and they couldn't join us for this one. But dang, it's a good one and we cannot wait for you to read it. And we would love to see you guys in our steampunk and our cyberpunk anthologies as well. And speaking of really cool books coming out in the not too distant future, there are some massive releases this week. Are you guys ready for this? Like, I'm not kidding when I say it's taking over this graphic. Let me pull this up for you guys. Look at that.
Wow. Look at all those beautiful books.
It's crazy how many books are out this week.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
All week long, we've got some incredible releases. We're super excited for this. And if you know of a release that we didn't get up here, let us know. We want to give them a shout out. And if you've got things for you personally that are coming out in the next couple of weeks, let us know. Or if you have a favorite author who has a book out in the next couple of weeks, send us the photo of the cover. We will happily get those up on our show and give them shout outs here at Young Adult Edition. Super excited to see all these great books out in the world right now. All right. Now that we've talked a little bit about some cool book world news, we've talked a little bit about some new releases, we do want to get into today's episode. We're talking all about bookish resolutions and bookish challenges today. So let us know down in those comments, what are your bookish resolutions for 2019? Do you have a certain number of books you want to read? Do you have a series you want to get through? Do you have a writer resolution? Let us know. We want to hear from you. And I know, Elle, you've actually got some cool things going on. But before we dive into that, let's talk just a little bit about some reading resolutions and those reading challenges. So tell us a little bit about what that is, what that looks like, and where people can get involved with that.
So, oops, sorry, my dog is bumping into the table. Lay down, Mac. For those of you who don't know, Goodreads has this challenge that you can kind of say, oh, I'm going to set this goal of reading 50 books a year. And each book that you read and mark read, it goes into your challenge. And at the end of the year, you can see all the books that you read, what you rated, blah, blah, blah. And each year, I try to get myself to read as much books as possible. And over the past few years, it's dwindled quite a bit because I've gone from avid reader to author. And
listen, for those of you that don't know, the second you become a published author and you have to take it seriously and not just do it on your own time, you actually have to be putting books out there consistently. It sucks away all of your time, and your ability to read goes way, 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 way down because you're so busy putting out new books for your fans. Just saying.
Exactly. And your brain just can't handle taking in extra information, you know? It's kind of, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's harder and it fries your brain, you know, it really does. You can't fit everything in there. And your ability to hold information, like you can honestly read a page 5 times over and be like, what did I just read?
It's a thing. It's an actual thing. A lot of authors actually have to not read while they're writing. And then when they finish their book, then they can read other people's books, but not write while they're doing it because it is a real thing about keeping your brain on straight because there's a lot going on there.
Oh, yeah. Like a lot of voices, a lot of plots, and just like the extra stuff coming in. It's like, oh my gosh, it's dizzying.
Justin is in the comments and he's saying he has around 60 books lined up for this year. Good for you, friend. That is
Absolutely.
awesome. Gosh, I don't know if it's showing that comment on screen or not. It is not for me. Elle, can you see that?
I can't actually see when you pull up comments.
Oh,
so
sadness. Well, I don't know if it's up there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm hitting the button, but it's not going. Let me try another one. Danielle says she read 0 books in 2018. She's not happy about that at all. Wow. So I started small with my goal this year and hope to get through at least 10, and I'm happy to report I've already finished reading 1, Mortal Engines. It was great. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad that you are jumping back on the bandwagon. It looks like we might not be able to display our comments today, unfortunately. But we are super glad that you're jumping in with your goal of 10 books. That is a solid number. Whether you are doing 10, 60, 100, 300, whatever you're doing, we're super excited for you, and we cannot wait to see what you are doing in terms of your reading goals. But Elle, I actually know that you have some fun twist on a little bit of a reading challenge. Instead of a reading challenge, it's more of a writing challenge. Tell us a little bit about that.
So me and my friend Lou Willem have been running this writing challenge, and it's to kind of get a couple projects going at once. And we actually came up with a twist on a temperature blanket, which for those of you who don't know, a temperature blanket is every day you record what the temperature is outside, and according to this list of colors, you go by the temperature and crochet or knit that color for the day. So we twisted that and actually have it so you have this bracket that goes according to your word count every day. And the point is just to write whatever. It doesn't matter. And silly me, I made it so that the more vibrant colors are actually the higher numbers. So you really have to work to get from gray to like a coral pink to make your blanket very colorful.
You say silly you, but like I feel like that's a motivator, because if your blanket's all dull colors, it's not like very bright and vibrant, you're gonna work yourself a little harder to get that higher word count. So I think that was actually pretty smart.
That was my goal, but then when you hit one of those days that you can't really get those words out and you're like, oh my gosh, here we go, I'm gray. Like today is a gray day. But the point is, it doesn't matter if your blanket is gray. The important thing is that you're getting this word count out. And it doesn't matter if you write 500 words. Yeah, it's going to be gray, but you're still getting that word count out. And this is actually running all year round instead of just a month. A lot of these challenges are a month, but this is a year. And over the course of a year, you might end up with 1 blanket. You might end up with 2 blankets, 3 blankets. It really depends on what patterns you go with, how you challenge yourself. We just wanted a creative way to get through writing and make it more fun and bring the community of writers together. And really, if anybody wanted, as a reader, you could turn that into a reading challenge too. So there's that.
That is true. I like it. I actually saw, it was a cool thing. I was over on Instagram a few days ago, and somebody I follow had created, it was like a mood chart. And so every single day she had a square and she colored it in based on how she felt that day went. So if it was like a not good day or a really good day or something exciting happened, it all had different colors. And then at the end of the day or the end of the year, the entire page was filled in with colors, and you could kind of see if you had a lot of really not so awesome days or really good days or things where something surprised you. And you could do that too. So if you're not somebody who crochets or knits or does the blanket thing, you can actually create a chart with colors on paper. It's a fun way to do it, and then it's colorful, right?
Absolutely. I mean, there are so many different challenges that you can do for kind of resolutions and fun things. I saw this beautiful chart of like word count stuff and like coloring in hexagons. And at the end of the year, it was like this beautiful rainbow of hexagons with different like word counts and everything.
Wow.
So even if you don't knit, crochet, whatever, you can still, I mean, I can't really draw a hexagon because I'm horrible. I can't even draw a circle.
You need one of those templates from elementary school.
Yeah, so I mean, you can even do that. Or if you wanted to do that with books, like you could do different word counts with different books, and just kind of, or if you wanted, you could even do it with genres, challenge yourself with different genres and fill in the hexagons, crochet, whatever. There are so many different ways that you can take this.
Yeah, for real. Lots of fun challenges. If you have an idea for how to track your success with your reading or writing resolutions, go ahead and let us know. Let's share the inspiration, help each other out, and come up with some creative, fun things for looking at the end of the year. And hey, if you are having fun with us, if you're here hanging out with us, and you think this would be valuable to some of your reading friends or author friends, hit the share button. Help us out, because that tells Facebook we're doing something good, we're doing something interesting, and they will kick this video out to more and more people. And when we get more people coming to hang out with us, we can do even more fun things here on Young Adult Edition. And like I hinted at the beginning of the show, we have some major things coming up in 2019 for you guys. We've got some incredible guests coming on. We've got some great topics. We've got really fun things for you guys. But the more people we have hanging out with us, the more likely we are to do it, and the more cool people we can get to come join us. So help us out, hit the share button, and let Facebook know that you are enjoying this video. So let's talk just a little bit about what we're doing in the book world. There's some really cool things happening. There's lots of fun coming up. And I know we're just talking about those bookish resolutions for both readers and for authors. And I know there's so many different kinds of those particular resolutions as well. So Elle, do you have maybe a word count you're trying to hit, or do you have a number of books you want to write this year? Do you have resolutions we should be chatting about?
So I have a couple resolutions for myself this year. I'm really challenging myself, because you and I behind the scenes were like, this is our year. This is our year. And it's going to be our year. And so my reader resolution, because I went from challenging myself to 150 books a year down to 20 if I'm lucky. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this year I'm challenging myself to read 30 books. But one of my challenges, and we can talk a little bit more about that, is reading business books. And we can get into that a little bit more. But writing-wise, I can't put a number on what I want to do, but I do know I want to do a steady bare minimum of 2K a day, no matter what, 2K a day. And if I have to skip a day, my punishment is double up. So
yeah. If you guys have been watching my channel, I don't actually know if I put all these videos out yet. I'm like systematically kicking out fan question answers to you guys. But I do have videos on how that is actually going to work to your benefit and how to implement that into your own writing strategy if you happen to be somebody who is writing a book like us. So I think it's very important to have those daily minimum word counts. That is something that I do as well. And very similarly to Elle, if I don't hit my word count for whatever reason, I am either skipping out on things, I'm not watching TV, I'm not socializing with people, I'm not going out. And if for some reason I do not handle it, then that day, it gets kicked over to the next day. And I have to get however many words I missed added to my count. So lots of fun there. I know for me, I don't really have a technical, like, I want to get this many words this year. But I know a lot of author friends. I'm in a group where we're fast writers and we write a lot. And a lot of people aim for about 1 million words in a year. So just in the back of my head, I'm like, yep, as long as I get somewhere near there, I'm good with that. But I do have my daily count, which is kind of high. High, so I won't tell you guys. And it's a little shocking. It's high. But I do have that, and I do have to make sure I reach that when I am writing. And Elle did mention that we do have a little bit of a business book thing going on here. We're not going to tell you all the behind-the-scenes details because we're keeping some of it confidential for the people in our group. But we did start a business book club, and it's not just for authors. When we originally started this, we invited my mermaid friends, we invited my photographer friends, anybody who was an entrepreneur was able to join us in this group. And every single month we are reading through a new business book to help us grow our brands, whether it is being an author or being a photographer. For me, it's being a social media strategist. Whatever it is, we are growing our businesses together, and we're reading through one business book per month. So we're not going to tell you what books, we're not going to tell you what we're doing or how we're implementing it, but it is a super fun group of some fabulous ladies. We don't have any men joining us right now, but it is super fun, and we're reading through a really, really good book. Don't tell them what it is, Elle, but are you loving it so far?
I love it. I'm not going to say anything other than this person does have a podcast, and I was hoping that the book would be as good as a podcast, and it really is. And I am not a fan of business books because they're so dry. Like, I don't even like reading historical fiction because that can be dry. So imagine reading a business book, and I'm like, I have to. That's one of my resolutions for this year, just for like my author platform. And also, if you guys have watched consistently, you know that I actually own Willow Ridge Candles, and it's something that I want to implement with that. So it's definitely an amazing book, though.
I pick good books, though. I like my business books. I'm one of those people who does like business books, and I do like historical fiction, so whatever, Elle. But I'm really excited because I have a list of books we're going to be reading in this book club, and they're good. I'm like really looking forward to reading it. I'm going to have trouble maybe holding off. Since we're doing one a month, I kind of just want to binge read like 6 of them right now. It's a problem, but I'm really excited.
I can't do that. I can't binge read business books. If you put like YA fantasy in front of me, sure, I will gobble that up. I could read a book a day. But put a business book in front of me, and it would almost, if I wasn't on a monthly, like, that's the time limit. You have to read this in a month, and discussion is at the end of the month. It would probably take me a year, because my mom, like, okay, little sidestep here. My mom used to buy me these dressage books. Guys, I ride horses, just an FYI. And my mom would get me these like technical finding your center and like all of this mechanical stuff when it comes to writing. Very helpful, and it helps you picture things and it explains things. However, it's technical, it's mechanical. I don't read stuff like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I almost have tears coming down my face because I can't.
Oh, girl, you have not been reading the right business books.
It's like reading a history book, you know, unless it's a topic in history. Well, unless it is like, okay, the ancient civilization stuff, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't read about the Mesopotamia anyway. Like, that's what I compare it to.
Which is so funny because I'm like, I love learning about history. Give me all the history classes.
No, I find atoms and nuclear stuff way more entertaining than the Mesopotamia. Like,
we're so off topic right now. Moving back, we've got really good business books. Yes. And if you want to join us, hey, if you're an entrepreneur, hit us up. We'll let you in. Lots of fun. And we're going to read some really good ones this year. I'm really excited for it. I really, truly want to binge read them. But I am also, like, I'm a business strategist. So business is kind of my deal. Lots of fun. Justin is in the comments, and he says, more retellings this year. And we're still having trouble getting our comments up on screen. Unfortunately, we're going to have to talk to my my broadcast provider about this. But are we doing more retellings this year, Elle? Are we doing more retellings this year?
Yeah, we are, but I can't say anything more than that. But we are. I know what KM is. I am. But I can't really say anything more than that. Justin, I'm sorry. Sorry,
I can. I can talk about it. I do have some really cool retellings. Most of them I'm not telling you. It is that half my year is going to be retellings. You guys know I'm putting out a ton of books this year. I have a retelling in the Circus Anthology. I'm really excited for this one. I did a lot of research on this one. It's going to be really good, and it's related to a color. That's all I'm going to say. And I've got a really big retelling trilogy coming out this early spring, we'll call it, I guess. End of winter, early spring. And it's steampunk related. I'm super excited. Can't tell you anything more than that, but it is going to be really good. You've never seen this story this way before. So lots of retellings coming out this year, and that's not even all of my retellings. Oh, P.S. Just in case you guys were not sure, I have been telling you we were going to get more of some of my shorter books as well, my novellas and novelettes. Virtually Sleeping Beauty just got a brand new cover, and it went live last night. So if you have not checked out the brand new Virtually Sleeping Beauty cover, that is really cool looking. You can check it out on Amazon. I don't know if it's gone up on the other platforms yet, but that's a little hint for you. We are expanding the Virtually Sleeping Beauty series, so you get more of that virtual reality retelling world. Fun times. And Justin is in the comments saying, yay. Yeah, it's going to be good. It is going to be good.
Okay, so I don't mean to interrupt, but since you hinted vaguely, I will hint vaguely. In one of the anthologies, I do have a retelling. I'll say that. One of the anthologies coming up, not this one. This one is an original story that I have in the circus one, but one of the anthologies is a loosely based off of a fairy tale thing that I was actually challenged by K.m. to incorporate into an anthology, one of them this year. So I took up that challenge, and I'm like, how am I going to do this? And that is one of them. So
give challenges. We like to give challenges to each other. Try to put this in your story. Do this in your story.
And fun fact, this is kind of going back to 2018 releases with Hunter's Truce. There was actually a moment that K.m. was like, you need to put that into your book. And I did. And it was, I don't know if you remember, I'll give you guys like a little story. There was a hawk in my yard, and it killed one of my bunnies. And it was a story. Yeah, it was horrific. I look outside, and there's this giant hawk munching away on one of my bunnies that I feed in my yard. And I was like so upset. And because this bunny would like honestly like try to like hop over to me, and I'd like sprinkle.
She traumatized me with the story, and now she's traumatizing you. I'm sorry, guys.
You know what? It's like your butterfly thing, okay?
That was in the book. You didn't write that part into your book.
No, I didn't. But this, it's funny, the inspiration anyway. But there's this bunny dying in my yard, and it's this hawk, and these ravens come in and chase it out of my yard. Anyway, K.m. was like, you need to write the hawk into your book. So funny story is, there is a hawk in Hunter's Truce that you find out, not really like what it is, but there is somebody or something called the hawk. And that is where that came from.
So the truth of the matter is that we all talk behind the scenes, and then we're like, you need to put this in your book. Oh, I'm challenging you to write this somewhere in one of your stories this year. And I've always thought it would be the coolest thing, and I have every intention of doing it. Maybe this year, that'd be lots of fun. It is going to be something I put out in my newsletter. So if you're not on my newsletter, jump over there. But I am going to be letting my fans challenge me to write a specific story with specific things in it. So I'm going to allow you to give me a story I have to retell, and there's going to be like 3 random, totally unconnected things that I have to write in it and stuff like that. And it's going to be one of those like, how difficult can we make this for K.m. to write? And then I'm going to do it in a week and get it out. It's going to be a short story, but we are going to do it. It's going to be lots of fun. I don't have details on it yet, but get on my newsletter if you want to be a part of it, because it's going to be fun.
I think that'd be fun. I mean, I love challenges anyway. You know, like this is the resolution challenge episode. You know, like it's. I love being challenged and stuff like that. It's kind of like magnetic poetry, like trying to get everything lined up so it kind of makes sense.
I think it's going to be fun. I've been wanting to do this since my first book was published back in the day. And I haven't had time to do it yet, but I think my fans are kind of like at the point where that'd be something that they would think was fun, and we're going to challenge each other. And I have a feeling that my author friends are going to be a little more vicious to me than my fans are. I feel like they're going to be like, oh, work this nice thing in here. We'll try to do this. And my fans are going to be like gentle on me. My author friends are going to jump in and be like, no, we're going to ruin your life. Write this stuff in. I'm really excited for it. I'm very excited. I like being challenged. So
Well,
Just
I
saying.
have some cool ideas for you then.
I know that you do. I feel like I have to decide, do I want to ban Elle from this one or not? But I don't, because I actually want to try to do like the really hard things. But it's going to be fun. There's going to be voting involved. So it's going to be like a little bit of a process. Like everybody send in their stuff, and then we're going to vote on the stuff. And then all the weird random stuff I have to write in a week to a short story and get it out within like a week and a half, because we got to give time for my editing people. But it's going to be fun. If you're interested in this, if you're excited for this, give me a shout out in those comments below. I would love to hear from you. And if you've got challenges for us, let us know. What challenges should we get involved with this year? And of course, if you've got questions for us, hit us up in those comments below. Whether you're live or on the rebroadcast, we will be watching those comments, and we want to hear from you. So, Elle, we are getting toward the end of today's episode. We're going to be talking all about the big things coming up in 2019. But before we talk about upcoming episodes, what else do we need to chat about in terms of those bookish resolutions and challenges? Did I forget anything today? Are we good to go?
I think we're pretty good to go.
Okay.
It was just about like hitting all those challenges. Like, what's your do you have a resolution? Because I know you have a problem actually reading outside of business books. Do you have a resolution for yourself to read?
I don't. Because the majority of my reading in terms of like non-business books are for my friends. So I'm beta reading, or I'm editing, or I'm developmental editing my friends' stories. And I have so many people who have so many books out this year, or who have like new releases out. It's literally just one after the next, after the next, after the next. I don't have time for my like fun reading aside from the people that I'm connected to. So I don't make those resolutions because I don't have time for them, because I'm so busy reading everybody else's. But I'm very there for my daily word count writing goals. So I kind of stick to the writer resolution, challenge, word count, goal type deals, but I do not force myself to read books. If I get a chance, that's totally awesome. I don't believe I've read for fun in 2 years because I've been so busy reading for all of my friends with their books. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Yeah, I mean, for myself, I have to schedule it in, and that's what I do. At the end of the day, it's a scheduled 5 chapters a day. And so my goal, although it's 30 or 35 books this year, I'm trying to stay steady to at least 5 chapters a day. And that way it makes myself read, So that's what I'm doing.
See, my minimum word count for writing is 7,000 words a day. So that's pretty much my day.
Yeah.
that takes over my day, and it's every day. It's like a consistent thing. So it's a thing. Eventually I'll read again. All right. We want to hear, what are your bookish resolutions this year? What are your reading challenges? We want to know what you are going to be working on in 2019. Let us know. And if you're currently reading one of those books, let us know what you're currently reading. We would love to hear about that. And we do want to let you guys know we have some major things coming up on Young Adult Edition. So before we let you know, we do want to hear from you. Do you have an author that you'd like to see on the show? Do you have someone who is in the bookish world, whether they're an author, an editor, a publisher, they make book swag, they are a book reviewer that you absolutely love, or a booktuber, or a bookstagrammer that you want to hear from? Let us know down in those comments below. If you can tag them, that's even better, to let them know you would love to see them on the show. So use something like, I would love to see at whoever that name is on the show. And let us know who you want us to get on the show. We've already been working on your list from last year. We've been reaching out to people, and we got you incredible authors like our dear friend A.G. Howard, came and hung out with us in November. We've got some fabulous people coming to hang out with us in 2019 as well. So let us know, who do you want to see on the show in those comments below. Next week, we are actually going to be hanging out with our dear friend Constance Roberts. She's been here before. She is going to be chatting with us about gender bent retelling. She has an incredible Peter Pan retelling that is totally twisted on its head, because our Peter is actually a girl and our Wendy is actually a boy. We're going to be talking all about why people love gender bent retelling so much. And if you got questions, next week is the week. Show up, Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on facebook.com/k.m.robinson books. We're here every single Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, we know that we've got our author interviews all the time at different times here on the channel as well. In fact, we're going to be hanging out with the fabulous J.M. Sullivan this week. And I don't actually remember the date, but we've got Jennifer Ellison coming on for an author interview soon as well. So we're going to have lots and lots of fun hanging out with these fabulous people. And we would love to see you here on Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, facebook.com/k.m.robinson books for more fabulous fun. Next week, we're talking all about those gender-bent retellings with Constance Roberts. And then over the course of the next couple of weeks, we got some good shows for you. I'm not going to tell you what they are yet. We try to tell you just one ahead, but we've got some good things coming, and we've got some incredible people over the next couple of months as well. Elle, I know you're excited. I'm excited. We can't really tell them too much, but like scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you?
13.
13. There we go. And we are seeing that you've got your suggestions down in those comments below. We are going to work on those. We're super excited. We cannot wait to see who else you would like to see on the show as well. Go ahead and tag your favorite YA authors and let them know you would love to see them on the show. All right. Fun, fabulous things happening next week. But before we go, Elle, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at L Beaumont Books. You can find me on Twitter at L Beaumont. You can always find me on my website, lbeaumontbooks.com. And if you search me up on YouTube, you can find some rebroadcasts of unboxings, interviews, and all that good stuff at L Beaumont.
And you've got an unboxing later. So, guys, if you have not gone over to Elle's channels, make sure you do that because she's going live in a little bit with some fun unboxing loveliness later today. And as always, you can come hang out with me at k.m.robinsonbooks.com. And you can hang out with me at k.m.robinsonbooks on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, IGTV, and all those fun, fabulous platforms. Lots of fun things going on. We've got some big things we're releasing in the next couple of weeks and months. And like I said, massive amounts of book releases in the next couple of months. There's a lot, guys. It's a lot. Stick around. Stay tuned. It's going to be lots of fun. We've got some big things coming, and we would love for you to get involved as well. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you next week for another episode of Young Adult Edition. Until then, have a great day and stay inspired, friends. Bye.